Hello, very nice to see you today. I wanted to jump on because I think it's really important to talk about the three most common mistakes that I see most mums making. This is common for all mums, but especially with mums who have children with additional needs. The reason I say that is because I understand all too well the difficulty and the trouble of trying to fit everything in. There's your work, there is family time, there is other siblings, there is your relationship, there is the general housework, cooking, cleaning, all those types of things, plus probably additional medical appointments, therapy appointments, organizing for your special needs child. I get it. There seems like there's no time for you, no time for anything. You feel like you're running on empty. You're completely running round and round and round. It feels like this constant cycle loop that you just get up and do the same thing every single day. So I want to challenge you to having a think about these three areas because honestly, by not investing or considering these three areas, it's going to be more of an uphill battle for you. So let me get straight into it. And I'm ultimately here. My purpose is to help you to have more energy, to have more calm and patience and time for the people that matter most to you. So you can be fully present with your child or children so that you can enjoy your life. You can actually say yes to some social things or something that lights you up, a hobby, a thing that makes you you. So number one, time. So many mums, like I just said, I see making this mistake, not having enough time. You feel like you rush around for everyone else, you do all these things, and you don't have enough time for yourself. So you put nothing into mum. Now, how I see this playing out is I see exhaustion, I see frustration, I see resentment. Now, that plays into all of our relationships. You're more likely to lose your temper with your child or children. You're more likely to feel resentful towards your partner because they have it easier. They are allowed to go to work. They can go to the gym. They can do things that they want to do. So, really important to focus your time in the areas that matter most. So, schedule in and prioritize your time. Literally look at your calendar and work out what are you spending your time on currently and where do you want to be spending your time? Where are the things that matter the most to you? Do they even feature on there? Or are they at the bottom of your list, which is unfortunately something I see all too often? Literally, by prioritizing the activities that light you up, that calm you down, that make you feel more at peace. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy. It can be a little bit of breath work. It can be a short home workout. It could be 5 minutes to read a couple of pages of your book in peace with a cup of tea. Like just something, but you need to put that on your calendar. It needs to feature somewhere. So your time is something that can work for you. So if you want to know more about this, comment time and I will get back to you and let you know some resources that I have that could help you to better plan your time. Okay. Number two is sleep. This is something that is fundamental. It is so important in human existence. Hence why in war zones and in unfortunate circumstances, they use sleep deprivation as a form of torture because it literally is like torture. I understand kids don't sleep well, especially when they're young. Often children with additional needs, disabilities tend to not sleep as well. I get it. It can be really challenging. But what you can do is you can focus on the quality of your sleep. And there are things around your sleep that you can impact. You can influence what time you go to bed. You can influence the quality of the sleep that you have by setting up an ideal sleep environment. So having that separation from work to sleep, having that regular patterning, that regular bedtime, all these things will help to improve your sleep quality. So even if you're unable to get more sleep, maybe you can improve the quality of the sleep that you are getting. Now, I probably don't need to tell you, but without good sleep, it's so hard to function. My brain definitely turns to mush if I haven't had enough sleep. I also find it's much, much more challenging to work out, to eat healthy, because if you're tired, you're lacking energy, right? So how does your body and yourself function? You look for energy. So you look for quick fixes like caffeine or sugar. And what they do is they give you a big burst of, woo, got some energy. And then you go down that crash. So it's even worse on the other side. You're also more likely to crave those comfort foods, thinking your heavy carbohydrates, those types of things that process through the system very quickly. It's much more challenging to reach for that salad. So if you have health goals in mind and you want more energy and you want to be alert, you want to be able to lift your kids, play with your kids, do fun things, sleep is going to be important, because if you're not getting enough of it, it's going to be way, way more challenging to come out the other side and be able to do the things that you need to do to have more energy, to feel better about yourself, to be the mum that you want to be. Does that make sense? So comment below sleep if you have any questions about sleep, because I have a more in-depth video that goes all into how you can improve the quality of your sleep. Number 3, not asking for help. This is the third most common mistake I see. So many women nowadays feel like we want to or have to do it all or have it all. That means you have the high-flying corporate job, you run the home, you keep everything clean, you organize all the appointments, you take on the mental load for that, plus you run the family, you look after the children, you make sure that they're well fed, they're dressed, they're sorted, they're ready for their appointments, school activities. It's all consuming. It's too much. We were never meant to do all of this. Our parents, I know my parents and my parents' parents, they had, you had that village that everyone talks about. It takes a village to raise a child. Where are our villages? You need friends, family, people to help you, to take some of that load off, to just decompress with. So important. Asking for help, and it might be help with childcare, it might be help with around the home, cleaning, cooking, something like that. It might be help in the workplace. It's just important to recognize that it's not weak to ask for help. It's not a sign of you're unable to cope, you can't do it. It's actually the opposite. It's very strong to ask for help. It takes a lot, and I'm equally as guilty. I haven't always asked for help, and I do find it challenging because I feel like, well, I should be able to do this. But then I reflect on it and look and go, well, actually, there is so much to do. How can I possibly do all of this and do it well? So I really come back into myself and work out what is really important to me. Where do I want to be focusing my time and my energy? And then what are the other things that need to happen? Because there are things that need to happen. You can't not cook and not feed the family. You can't not go to work and bring money in, or bring money in some way. So there are things that need to happen, but maybe that's not your priority. Maybe that's taking away from another area. So how can you lessen the load of the other things to give you more time on the things that matter? And that comes from asking for help. So 3 mistakes that most mums make: not prioritizing your time, not getting enough sleep, and not asking for help. So let me know, are you number 1? Are you number 2? Are you number 3? Or maybe you're 2 or 3, all of those. Maybe you fall into those categories. I want this to be the day that you say no more. I'm going to put some boundaries in place. I'm going to work out what's important to me, and I am going to do my very best to be more calm, to enjoy life, to not get so caught up in the day-to-day, just going through the motions. Sit back, have a second, and just work out, what do you actually want things to look like? Because without knowing where you want to be, it's so hard to get there and work out, well, what are the things that I need to let go of? There's something I saw that's in relation to work, but it's basically, there are things you do, things you delegate, and things you delete. So what do you need to or want to do? What are the things that you can delegate to somebody else? And what are the things you simply need to delete, simply to stop doing? It can be really good to look at your calendar, look at all the things that you do. What are those things that you really don't have to do? Maybe you feel like you should or you have to, but do you really? What are the things that you're doing that you could delegate to somebody else? Whether that be paid help, it be family help or friend help. And what are the things that you need to do? Only you're the person that can do those, or the person that wants to do those. It might help to think in those 3 categories, and that will help you to be the calm, the present, the patient, the energetic mum that I know that you want to be. I hope this has been super, super helpful. Let me know if you need any further assistance. Like I said, I've got way more resources on better management of your time and how to really focus on the things that matter, on sleep and how to get better quality sleep, even if you can't increase the number of sleep hours. I also have a bit of a guide as to what you can do to create boundaries and asking for help and some tips and tricks around that side of things. So I know that's something that can be a challenge. I hope that's been helpful. I hope to see you online again very soon.